Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to offer you 3 tech tree tanks which are exceptionally strong and which let you progress in the battle pass as fast as possible. Let's go. Once a new battle pass has started, you want to make the most out of it and if possible reach the highest level in order to get a free style or sometimes a free premium tank. If you belong to the average player, you might not have enough time to play World of Tanks on a daily basis, or maybe only a couple of games each day. In this case, you need to hurry up to reach the desired level. In this video, I want to showcase 3 tech tree tanks which are exceptionally strong and which let you progress as fast as possible. Keep in mind, if you belong to the best 3 players in your team by XP earned in a game that your team managed to win, you get 7 additional Battle Pass points. If you are within the top 10 players, you get 5 points. If your team loses, you get 5 and 3 points respectively. So you want to play strong tanks which let you have decent results more often. Keep in mind that you can reach a bonus if you play a tank long enough and reach its point limit. And as the point limit is much lower for low and mid tier tanks compared to top tier tanks, you should play lower tiers, i.e. tier 4, 5 or 6. So having that said, which tanks are the best ones to progress extremely fast in the battle pass? Well, there are a lot of good tanks on tier 4, 5 and 6, but all in all, I believe the following 3 are the best ones. And I will show you one game of each of those superb tanks. So without further ado, let's see which tanks I prefer to progress as fast as possible during a battle pass event. So in the first game, we are playing the Cruiser Mark IV on Ruinberg in a tier 4 game. The Cruiser Mark IV is a very fast firing British tank and it is simply a phenomenal tank. Usually I do not play low tier, tier 4 or even below, and I usually also do not play tier 5 and I sometimes play tier 6, but that's it. But if you want to progress in the battle fast, then tier 4 is the best way to go. Because you only need 75 points until you get your bonus of 15 additional points, which lets you progress in the battle pass. So the Cruiser Mark IV, this is a phenomenal tank, and as you can see, you have a 2-shot autoloader tank. Now the point being is that with every shot you take, you actually fire 2 shells. So despite this indication of having 2 shells in your magazine, you actually fire 4 shells in total. The only thing is you cannot control 2 shells of it, because as you will see in a second, if you click once, you fire 2 shells. Alright, so let's see what we can do. We want to load premium ammunition, and here you go. That's the firepower of this tank. The firepower of this tank is what makes this tank so strong. In combination with its mobility, this tank is brutal on tier 4. Look at this. Within only 2 bursts, we made 370 damage on tier 4. This is insane for a tier 4 tank. Now, the reload time is also super low, so you will be able to reload your whole clip very quickly, and this gives this tank I would say an OP firepower on tier 4. So Cruiser Mark IV, this is the way to go. This is my recommendation for you. Look at what we can deal to this tank. Here you go. And another 188 damage. Wonderful. So let's reload the clip. And here you go. Next tanks for us. Unfortunately, as I said, we cannot control the second shot. So if we fire once, then the gun shoots actually twice. But that is alright. Of course, the gun is not very precise, so you have to slowly approach your opponents and try to aim in your shot. But yeah, once again, 243 damage in this tank. And with this tank, you can build up damage so rapidly. And keep in mind, it's a tier 4 tank, so as as in this battle you will even see tier 3 tanks, and they simply do not have a chance against you. Alright, so within only a couple of minutes this game is won, and we already made 1100 damage within only 3 minutes in a game. And once again, this is a tier 4 tank, so keep that in mind. Let's try to approach the adversary position so that we can make even more damage. Now, of course, if you want to fully exploit the strength of this tank, then you need to load quite a lot of premium ammunition. But I mean, on tier 4 the shells are not too expensive, so I think this is not too much of a problem because it's a low tier tank. Alright, can we get a shot onto this tank? Here you go. No. Yes, nice. Bam, 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 bam. And another 248 damage once again on a tier 4 tank. Gun is already reloaded, but we cannot manage to hit this tank. So let's see, another reload, and if we put him in, it's really hard to hit those shots against a tank which is on the move. But no problem at all, because the clip reload is very short for such a high alpha gun. Okay, so once again, let's load premium ammunition, and maybe we can take a shot onto this tank. Here you go. Nice, and 183, so we made 3 shots. 1500 damage. The game is relatively close. That has looked differently at the beginning, at the very first 3 minutes of the game, but that's actually good for us, so we can make even more damage. Nice. Let's try to not lose any more HP. So you know what, I think it is time to flex, and here comes the great mobility once again of this tank, and I think the combination of the firepower with the good mobility is what makes this tank so strong. I would go so far to say that this tank is OP for its tier, and it should maybe be a tier 5 tank, but it is a tier 4 tank. And so my recommendation, if you want to quickly progress through the battle pass, you know what, I think if the Stritzwang M4L flanks the remaining tanks, then actually we will go to this corner right there and then just peek out, deliver our shells, and then fall back behind cover. And so in a 1v1 situation, if we can manage to fall back behind cover, then we have the far better trading potential. So let's let's try to be fully aimed in. Here you go. And 233, so we simply almost clip out this tank. So let's simply rush in, and we can even take a shot. I think he has an alpha damage of 50, and we have an alpha damage of about 240. So no chance for this tank. 1800 damage on a tier 4 tank. Okay, here you go. So we have 300 HP remaining. Now the TD has a slightly higher alpha, I think. So let's not... Yep, he's aiming towards me, but you know what? Now he should be turning around. Excellent. And that's the time where I want to peek out of cover and finish this tank. So bam, 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 bam. And another 225 damage. And so overall in this game we made 2071 damage with the Cruiser Mark IV in a tier 4 tier 3 matchup. So this tank is OP and definitely a recommendation for you if you want to progress fast in the battle pass. My second recommendation for you is the AMX-12T, and yes, I know this is a tier 6 tank, so you have to collect 100 points before you get your additional 15 bonus points if you progress in the battle pass with this tank. Now, the point being is, in my opinion, you should rather play OP tanks or super strong tanks than compared to simply playing tier 4 tanks or tier 5 tanks. Because keep in mind, Every time you have a decent game, you win the game and you are top on XP, or at least on the top positions of your team, you get additional points. So you will progress through the battle pass faster if you play successfully with your tanks. And so overall, yes, you should play tier 4 tanks and tier 5 tanks and thereafter tier 6 tanks. However, the most important thing and the prior number one is to play strong tanks, which lets you have fantastic games so that you can be under the top performers of your team and thus get those sweet extra points in every game. And yeah, the AMX 12T is by far the strongest light tank. I would go so far to say that it is the strongest light tank tier for tier in the game, and in my opinion it's a definite recommendation for you. Not only does it have a very fantastic camo value, good view range, and is a decent spotter, but it also has this nice lovely 4-shot autoloader gun, which lets you deal 4 times, I believe, 335 damage, which is insane for a tier 6 tank, and it is even more insane if you consider that this tank is a light tank and not a heavy tank or a medium tank. Alright, so at the beginning of the game I want to keep those tanks spotted so that our 2 artilleries can take those tanks under fire. And let's see how it goes. So I want to peek out and then I need to fall back because tanks are trying to take shots onto me, and I need to stay in cover for at least 10 seconds approximately so that I'm not spotted anymore. So can we take a shot? I do not think so, but you know what? That's not a problem. Let's try to spot one or another tank. Nice. But unfortunately, there's no tank in the correct position to take a shot onto the VK3002M. That's not a problem at all. Let's try to... Okay, I think this tank is aiming towards me, so I need to fall back maybe. Let's see. No, it's not. So, okay. Another strength of this tank is that it has insanely good penetration on the premium ammunition. So with 200 millimeters of pen, you can even successfully fight against tier A tanks. So, and keep in mind this is a light tank, so you against tier A tanks, when you are in a low tier situation, you have the spotting ability on your side, which kind of equals out the low tier position, but then you also have the super strong 200 millimeter pen premium ammunition, which is really a good choice if you are in such a low tier situation. Alright, so let's see what we can do. We are on the winning side. Looks like our team has won the northern side of the map. So let's try to see whether we can spot a tank. Okay. Of course, the gun handling is not the most accurate one. I think it's pretty decent for a light tank. But of course, it's not the snapshot king in World of Tanks. Let's try to further advance in this game. And let's try to go even further so that we can not only spot but also make damage for our team. Here you go. Nice, that's what I want to see. And now I can empty my whole... Unfortunately, I cannot. Now the question is, should I go into a reload? I do not think so. I think 3 shells is enough for the next engagement. Maybe if the KV advances again. Nice. Nice. Only one additional shot. Maybe he... let's see. Maybe he will advance one more time. Let's try and see whether we can spot one or another tank. Okay, yep. And we are spotted. So let's fall back into cover. 1500 assisting damage. And now I want to reload my clip and then fight against the T-52. Let's see. The game is relatively close because the team has a very strong defensive position at the D2 position. So simply advancing over the open field, which like in the north where the T-3485M is positioned, is not an option on this map. You see, yeah, I need to fall back because I am spotted in this position. But I get some more assisting damage, which is nice. And so let's see. Maybe we can take out the KV. No. What can we do in this position? I think we can maybe try to go on top of this hill and make pressure here. This is what we think what we can do. Of course, we get spotted, but that is not a problem at all. Here you go. Nice. Artie is here, but let's first of all kill... okay, we need to fall back. We need to fall back, but we can kill the artillery, maybe. Hopefully the Su-100 doesn't push us. The reload time is not very fast for this tank. This is why the DPM is lackluster. But most of the times, for example in this situation, as those tanks are not pushing me out and not exploiting my reload time, usually on tier 6 players are not experienced enough to exploit this, and so most of the time this is not a huge problem. So I have reloaded my clip, and let's fall back and let's see whether we can take out the KV, sorry, the Junu and the Churchill 7 in the middle. Yeah, here you go. So let's fully aim in and bomb, and let's take him out. Nice. Okay, we get a shot from the middle from the Skoda T40. Okay, this is not what I want to see. Now I need to evade out of the situation because the Su-100 has relocated. But fortunately, this tank is fast enough. And we already made 2,400 damage, which, sorry, assisting damage, which shows the great spotting capabilities of this tank. So yeah, all in all, of course the skill cap of this tank is of course relatively high. So if you are a very unexperienced player, then this tank might not be one for you. But if you are average or above average, then I can really recommend this tank. And most of the time I managed to get a pretty decent WN8 in this tank, and so this lets me progress through the battle pass even faster. Now I want to increase the distance because the Su-100 has a very imprecise gun, and maybe I can take a shot from this position right here. Nice. 1 and 2, and he has shot, and 4. Nice, we can take him out. Excellent. And so let's reload and let's try to then advance towards the adversary base. There's the Skoda T40. He is one shot. So as soon as he is taken out, then we can certainly make more pressure. Here you go. That's what I want to see. And so let's reload the gun, and then let's now try to rush into the middle to kill the remaining adversary tanks. I think I want to first of all proceed towards the VK3002M, simply because he can be a threat towards our remaining 2 tanks or 3 tanks at the rear of the map. So all in all, 3.4k combined, and 1000 damage so far in the game. Now I got spotted, so I wanted to waggle around a little bit in order to not get shot, which has worked out. And so let's now try to kill the VK3002M. There he is. And maybe we can get the final... No, actually we cannot, but you know what? Let's hurry up and let's try to get the kill shot onto the artillery. Nice, that's what I want to see. Artie has relocated, which I like, because now I can get a shot onto the Artie. Now... unfortunately he is behind cover, but the good thing is I'm the fastest tank now in the game, and so I think I should be able to kill this tank. Now the one thing I do not want to see is that he one-shots me once I'm crossing, but maybe we can... Okay, he's he is driving around. With this he will not have a chance to take a shot onto us. And so yeah, all in all we made 3.8k combined damage, 2.4k spotting damage, and 1.3k damage with our autoloader, and 4 kills, by the way. So AMX-12T is close to being OP on tier 6. It's a very, very strong tank, one that I can really recommend for you if you want to progress fast in the Battle Pass. And last but not least, the other tank, the third tank in this video that I can recommend for you if you want to play ultra strong tanks at lower or let's say mid tiers, is the M6. The M6 is an American tier 6 heavy tank, and as it is right now in the game, it is very close to being OP. In fact, I would predict that this tank will get a nerf throughout the year, but we will see. Right now it is in the game as it is, and it is a very strong tank. Once again, I would say it is OP. Now we are spawning in a tier 4 game, so we are in a top tier situation. This tank, in my opinion, is not a tier 6 tank, it's more a tier 7 tank. And so in this case, I will also push the heavy lane even if I am on my own. There's the Panzer 3J playing with me, and so in this top tier situation I'm not afraid of any other tier, of any other tank. And so you see me do something that I usually do not do, which is pushing on a flank with being all on my own. But anyway, this tank is so strong that in a top tier situation I can afford to play against multiple other tanks, because if I can bring myself into a hull-down situation, then this tank is basically will be overwhelming other tanks, as you will see in the next minutes. So let's here go. This tank tries to make pressure, but he's now lost half of its HP. Oh, looks like those tanks are making pressure, and I think I need to relocate. Now, of course, I'm in an OP top tier tank. However, this doesn't mean that I can play against multiple opponents if they can be in a crossfire situation. So let's see. Bam, one shot onto the Tiger. Now I need to fall back so that I do not lose too much of my HP. Notice how strong the DPM is on this tank. The reload is super fast, so not only does this tank have a superb turret armor, which lets you play hull down. Keep in mind this tank has 10 degrees of gun depression. It also has 240 alpha damage and a very strong reload, so that the DPM of this tank is insanely high. Plus the gun handling is actually pretty nice, and in addition to this, you get a overpowered premium ammunition with 240 plus millimeters of penetration. Alright, so we tracked the Hetzer, so he could not take a shot onto us, and with the second shot we could actually take him out. And so now I've made 1800 damage. I was fighting against multiple tanks and they do not have a chance against me. So here you go, nice. At least this tank is falling back. So I didn't take a shot onto this tank, but now here you go, bam, another 211 damage, a little low roll, which is fine. And you know what, let's try to get another shot. He's falling back, nice. So within only 3 minutes we made 2074 damage. This is how strong this tank can be. And as I am holding this flank on my own, our teammates are able to push the 1 and 2 lane, and so the game is on the winning side. Now looks like those tanks have fallen back because they do not want to fight against me anymore in this OP tank. So I want to chase them in order to make even more damage. So let's see where they are. And yeah, all in all, the M6 is a tank which lets you have so many great games in a row due to the very strong performance of this tank. And so this is why you will be able to progress fast in the Battle Pass, because you will get additional points for every great game that you manage to achieve in this tank. So 2400 damage within only 4 minutes of the game. Excellent results so far, and there's maybe a bit more to come. So let's see how it goes. Looks like the Tiger 131 will be taken out by the Churchill 7. Yep, so let's continue towards the last known position of the VK3001H. maybe we can get some additional damage. He's not spotted so far. Okay, so let's see where he is. I do not need premium ammunition for this tank, of course. So let's see. Oh, here you go. Nice. And he is almost... No, he is actually full HP. Nice. That's what I want to see. So not only did we spot this tank, but we also get 2 more shots. So 2.8k damage in a tier 6 tank. This shows the strength of this tank. So those were the 3 tanks that I recommend to play if you want to progress fast in the battle pass. Because keep in mind, for every decent game, if you are top tier, if you are top on XP, or at least if you position yourself in a top placement, concerning XP, and if you win the game, then you get additional points in your tank, and so you want to play strong tanks. And in my opinion, those are the 3 strongest tanks that you can play on tier 6 and also on tier 5. There are, of course, other tanks which are also very, very strong. The Lux, for example, and many others that you can play, but those, in my opinion, are by far the best tanks that you can play. Alright guys, that was it for today with the video about the 3 best tanks for grinding the battle pass. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about those 3 tanks? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. And as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you find this video extremely helpful, then feel free to support me via Super Thanks. This way you can make a one-time donation. You just have to click this button underneath the video. If you adore this channel and you want to consistently support me, then consider subscribing to my channel or become a member, once again with the click of a button underneath the video. Thanks a lot, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.